Well, howdy there, Internet people, it's Belle again. So today, we're going to talk about Trump's Senate briefing, Iran claims and reactions. U.S. senators got their briefing about U.S. operations in Iran and their effectiveness. The debate over the tactical effectiveness is starting to overshadow the debate over whether or not the strikes were a good move strategically. But reactions from senators, even Republican senators, after the briefing tends to suggest that it wasn't as effective as the administration wants everybody to believe. Republican Senator John Cornyn of Texas was asked about whether the sites were obliterated and said, quote, "I believe the goals of the mission were accomplished. I think that's an ambiguous term, or could be interpreted different ways. So I would just say the goals of the mission were accomplished." Republican Senator Rick Scott of Florida said, quote, "It's all in your definition." Republicans are at the point where they're going to debate what obliterated means. That sends a pretty clear signal that by the normal definition, the site was not obliterated. Republican reluctance combined with the DIA report, combined with Israel hitting the targets after the U.S. operation, combined with the European findings suggesting that the U.S. operation missed most of Iran's uranium stockpile because, surprise, it had been scattered to multiple locations, would lead most to the conclusion that the operation was not as successful as the Trump administration has been claiming. Democratic Senator Chris Coons of Delaware said, quote, "We got more relevant details about that, but I think it is too early to actually fully grasp a number of critical and currently unanswered issues about what was exactly destroyed and exactly how long it would take to reconstruct it, and what the intentions of the Iranian regime are. When you're talking about intelligence, that's actually the bigger question. Intent. That's what matters. The media is getting lost a little in the weeds of damage assessments that, so far, have all kind of indicated non-obliteration of the program, and not enough attention is being paid to what happens next. It's important to remember that U.S. intelligence has repeatedly assessed that Iran was not actively building a nuclear weapon. If, as many assessments are suggesting, Iran retained most of its stockpile of uranium, understanding their intent after the strikes is the most important part. Their posture may have changed. They may now seek a weapon immediately. Trump has now said that the U.S. doesn't need a deal with Iran. The problem is that stance is based on his seemingly faulty obliteration rhetoric, and probably a bit on the fact that he pulled out of the previous deal, convinced he could get a better one, and that his failure to do so led to military conflict. The results of the operation are going to be debated for years. The effects of the operation and Trump's change to U.S. policy and position are going to cause ripple effects in the region long after he's gone. Just like before, somebody will have to clean up his mess. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.